Foot drop is one of the most common MS symptoms that I am asked about. And for good reason, foot drop is one of the most common weaknesses for those living with multiple sclerosis. Foot drop is any time that your toes drop down. Sometimes this is referred to as foot drop, drop foot, foot drag, foot slap, or anything similar to that. Essentially what it means is when you are walking forward or backwards, instead of being able to lift up your toes, they drop down. And this most often occurs from two reasons. Number one, weakness in the front of your lower leg and front of your ankle muscles. Or number two, tightness in the back of your lower leg, also known as your calf muscles. The good thing about these two conditions is that there are things that we can do about them. For the weakness in the front of your ankle muscles, we can do strengthening exercises. For the tightness in the back of your lower leg muscles, we can do some stretching exercises. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I prefer to do all of my exercises seated. And the reason for that is because when I'm sitting down, I don't have to worry about balancing. Therefore, my body can more readily focus on strengthening the specific muscles that I want to strengthen. To strengthen the muscles in the front of my lower leg, in front of my ankle muscles, I like to do an exercise called ankle dorsiflexion. Essentially what this means is you sit up tall, and I want you to straighten your legs a little bit further away from you, but not so far that your toes are off the ground. Your feet should be flat on the ground. You can hold on to your chair for stability. Make sure you have good posture as always. And you're going to lift one ankle up. So your heel stays down, but your toes come up as high as you can absolutely lift them. Then slowly lower them down. And then same thing on the other side. Lift up as high as you can, and then slowly lower down. Do as many repetitions as you can with good quality on both sides. Also know that it is totally normal to have one side not lift as high as the other. Or maybe you have one side that doesn't lift at all. That's okay. Still practice it. Every repetition that you practice strengthening this movement is an opportunity for your brain to find a proper neural pathway through neuroplasticity. My favorite way to approach the second condition, which was tightness in the back of your lower leg muscles, is to do a seated calf stretch. So I like to grab something that is not stretchy. I like to use my bathrobe belt. You don't want something that's stretchy because if it is stretchy like a resistance band, you won't get as deep of a stretch. So ideally something that does not stretch, and you're going to put it down towards the ground and try to get the balls of your feet under the strap and then straighten your leg. Another device that works well for this is a yoga strap. Or if you have a dog leash can work well too. Once your leg is straight, you want your knee to be as straight as possible, then use your arms to pull your toes up towards you. If you're sitting up tall, you should feel a nice stretch here in the back of your calf muscle, anywhere from the back of your knee down to the back of your heel. You can hold this stretch for about 30 seconds and do this 2 to 4 times on each leg, or you can choose to hold for about 3 seconds and do 20 to 30 repetitions, whichever feels better for you and your body. As I mentioned before, those are my two favorite foot drop exercises, one being a strengthening exercise and the other being a stretching exercise directly for the ankle muscles. However, there are other things that we can do too. While your ankle might be weak and therefore dropping a little bit, we can work on strengthening the muscles that bend your knee, as well as strengthening the muscles that lift your hip. Let me show you what I mean. You see, there are a lot of movements that are required to take one step forward. So if I want to take a step in this direction, the first thing that I need to do is shift my body weight forward. Then I need to be able to bend my knee. Then I need to be able to swoop my ankle up. That's what the seated exercise we just practiced will help with. From here, I need to be able to lift my knee or lift my hip up towards the ceiling, then straighten my leg and put my heel down. So two of the major movements in there is bending my knee and then lifting my hip. Therefore, those are two exercises that you can do to help with your foot drop. You can do this in a standing or seated or side lying position. Essentially what you do is practice bending your knee. If you're standing, absolutely hold on to something to help with your balance. And then the other is marching to lift your leg up. As with all exercises, try to lift with as much power and oomph as you have. If one leg doesn't lift as high as the other, that is okay. Keep going. The exercises to bend your knee and bend your hip are more so compensatory exercises, meaning we're trying to help those muscles compensate for the weakness in the ankle muscles. However, it is possible to work on both at the same time, strengthen the compensatory muscles and strengthen the ankle.